and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Mark Warwood. 7 races at Ascot this Wednesday. Let's have a look at the forecast conditions. We're expecting a partly cloudy day, around 26 degrees Celsius. The rating of the track to be a good 4 and the rail position to be in the inside. Race number 1 will jump at 1:14. It's the Iron Jack Plate over 1100 metres. The replay horse can look at Shiza Galar, last start on the 2nd of May.
They're being followed by Shiza Galar. Then came Flying Target, Jetaffair further back, but Cryptic Love had broken well clear. And when they went by the 150, it's Cryptic Love over 3 in front. Flying Target down the outside. Point taken. Dash for Nickers and Shiza Galar, Kenny Luck. But as they'd reached the line, Cryptic Love too sharp. Cryptic Love.
That was a forgive performance by Shiza Galar. She finished 7th in the replay race, but if you have a look at Martin Allen's social media channels, you'll know exactly why. She had dirt in her trachea and she was well back to win that day, and it wasn't that bad a performance considering her health condition. Her first up run behind Superstardom was probably good enough to win a race of this nature, and therefore she goes on top, number 12. Number 8, Jetaffair, was good on debut behind Fire and Rain. That was back in December. Has been unlucky all 3 runs this preparation. Barrier 3 is a positive here. Did get strung up in traffic last start in what was a slowly run race. Number 1, Trade Fair, comes out of the same race as Jetaffair and had a similar experience to Jetaffair as well. Was well back. Will be better suited over 1100 metres from a kind of draw here. Trade Prize has already run a race. And then down the bottom, number 11, Shapita, a debutant from the Simon Miller yard with William Pike aboard. Trials were okay, but only okay. My top selection in race number 1, going to go with number 12, Shiza Galar, to beat number 8, Jetaffair, 1, Trade Fair, and 11, Shapita. Race number 2 at Ascot on Wednesday will jump at 1:49. It's the Penfolds Handicap over 2200 metres. The replay horse can look at number 1 here, Montagna, finishing 2nd at Ascot on the 2nd of May.
Task in front of it, Palace Rogue headed for home at the 250 from Montagna, getting right up on the cutaway. It's Palace Rogue though at the 150, responding magnificently. He kicks away again from them, Palace Rogue. He's got Montagna beaten. Blue Tracer got an inside run, but a great all the way win by Palace Rogue.
Montagna beats all bar Palace Rogue in the replay race. That was 2 weeks ago. Would not be at all surprised if Palace Rogue, who's a relation of Perth Cup winner Lord's Ransom, went on to be a serious cup contender in the coming season. So I think that form's pretty good. Did win impressively 2 starts ago. That was at Ascot in maiden grade over 1600 metres. No queries about the trip here, 2200. That was the replay race distance, and can race handily as well from an inside gate. Barrier 3 for Paddy Carberry. Goes on top here from number 2, Snitzertune, the 3-year-old. Won a maiden last start, have to been on a Derby campaign. Was probably very flattered by finishing 4th in the JC Roberts Stakes. That was a pretty slowly run race, but Snitzertune broke its maiden last start and is probably the main danger here. Number 5, Aberdeen, was too bad to be true last time out, pulled very hard in the run. Was weighted to get close to Snitzertune. They clashed 2 starts ago and there was only a nose in it. And then number 3, Wheelmill again, broke its maiden in handicap grade last time out for Stephen Parnham and Stefan Vahala. Has an outside gate on Wednesday. On top selection in race number 2, looking for number 1, Montagna, to continue his fine run of form and beat number 2, Snitzertune, 5, Aberdeen, and 3, Wheel Meet Again. Race number 3 at Ascot on Wednesday will jump at 2:24. It's the Ascend Sales Trophies Handicap over 1200 metres. The replay horse can look at the trial of Red Army at Larkhill.
And then came Nashville Cat being ridden along. Slick Talker stayed to the inside, back towards the tail. Bollinger Boy, and run off the track is the Carnup Kid. Down the straight though, Tom Almighty went up on the outside of Redasona, getting to it with every stride. Quality Fair now out and running down the outside. Red Army might claim them all. Red Army flying, mate.
Red Army won 2 of his 3 races last preparation. I thought his trial was pretty good earlier this month behind Quality Fair. The concern on Wednesday for mine is the trip. I think he'd be much better suited over 1400, maybe even 1600 metres here. But looking at the map of this race and looking at the contenders here, Daines Marie will get him very light, 53.5 kilos. I think Daines Marie will lead here at above benchmark, and I think they'll go pretty quick. And I'm looking at back markers and looking at horses that may well want a little bit further than 1200. Red Army ticks that box. Grant and Alana Williams, William Pike, you just can't go wrong, goes on top. Number 4, Lucky Lucky Legacy is another back marker in what is probably a very even race in terms of talent. I think it will come down to tempo, so that's why Lucky Legacy goes in for David Harrison and Joey Azzopardi. Number 3, Keeper's Tail, won 2 starts ago, but generally keeps running into one better. Last time out it was Pearls and Prawns. Has won over 1,300 metres, but looking at the sectionals, I think the Keeper's Tail is probably better suited to an even 1,200. This might be a fast 1,200, but in really good form she is. And then number 2, Guns of Navarone, won 2 starts ago and was pretty good last start as well, finishing second. My top selection in race number 3, going with number 1, Red Army, to beat 4, Lucky Legacy, 3, Keeper's Tail, and 2, Guns of Navarone. Race number 4 at Ascot on Wednesday will jump at 3 o'clock. It's the C Corp handicap over 1,200 metres. The replay horse can look at Brutus Maximus trialling at Larkhill.
Starts to take that run, but is being felt for. Behind those runners there next as they head down the straight, Golden Trade with Shira Khan and Threads of Ivy. They head down the straight, the birds aren't moving. Now they fly away as they head inside the last 150. Brutus Maximus shaken up, went up on the outside and takes the lead, and Brutus Maximus will beat second.
Good trial win that by Brutus Maximus. He was 4th in the Fair Retha Stakes on only his 2nd career start, and his connections were hopeful of trying to get him into the WA Guineas last year. I think he's a horse with plenty of untapped potential here. Probably he's going to get back in the run. That is a slight concern, but he's one of these Wednesday horses that might be a little bit better than all of his rivals, and therefore he goes on top. Number 2, Heart of Kawur, is a really astute trainer, Martin Allen. I think last start was a really good performance, beating Driftwood Girl, and he made a success of dropping from 2,200 metres of the Mel Vista Stakes to the 1,200 metre trip. Stays at 1,200 metres here, and he's very versatile. This horse could go in midfield or go forward, and the claim certainly helps. Number 5, Driftwood Girl, meets a Heart of Kawur, slightly better at the weights than last start, and therefore has to be in the consideration here. And number 4, Amelie Argo, Fabergina form, but that's a really hot form race, but I just think Amelie Argo was a little bit too far behind Fabergino to bask in the glow of the grade galloper, and just recorded a fair time in that race a couple of weeks ago. My top selection in race number 4, going to go with the returning number 8, Brutus Maximus, to beat 2, Heart of Kawur, 5, Driftwood Girl, and 4, Amelie Argo.